I'm running my different YouTube channels, and the one is my Oz Lily one, which I'm now going to keep as my comprehensive YouTube channel where I post my original stuff, and then on my Lily Gundaka I'll post my edited stuff where I'm consciously working on attracting people or telling a story. And then, of course, there's the Women's Federation one. But okay, so what I want to do is, after I've posted this on live stream on Facebook, uh, post the edited version on my other YouTube channel. So I just have to tell you what's going on in my mind because I'm a little bit confused. I have two profiles on my computer, one where I do Women's Federation stuff with my Women's Federation address, and it shows me a different Chrome background in green for Women's Federation. And then I've got my personal one where I have where I do all of my other stuff. So the reason I come live today is because I spent more than half an hour, I think, I don't know how long exactly, reading all the new terms and stuff, because all I wanted to do was just go into Instagram and I wanted to post, no, I wanted to just read and see who's there and what's there. And the first thing that came up was the message. And I think I told you last week that Facebook is starting to charge, and it would be €5.99. Was it €5 or $5.99 per account? And now Instagram tells me it would be $7.99. So I figure that's because I've got my Instagram account and my Facebook account. And in the account center, I've also set up Women's Federation. Originally, I set up Women's Federation Europe and Austria, and set up, originally, I don't remember whether it was groups or pages. I think it was groups originally, and then they abolished groups and then set up pages, and now they've reintroduced groups. Long history of Facebook going back over the almost decades. So now you may also be faced with the challenge of what's happening in Facebook and Instagram, and you can just continue using it as you have until now when you click on continue using free. And when you want to use it for free, then you have the choice of having personalized ads or not. So if you don't say that you're going to continue using it for free, then you'll have to set up a payment system. And every month it'll be at least €5. And if you have composite accounts like me, because I do a lot of work for Women's Federation and try to set up some posting for Austria Women's Federation, UN Women's Federation, Europe Women's Federation, International Women's Federation, UN. Anyhow, these are all like separate entities, all areas of interest that I have. And occasionally I work on targeting and funneling some of this stuff into a particular direction. And I'm me. And when I want to post something as me, it often comes up. I think it was when I was trying to post something on Instagram and wanted to share it on my Facebook account. It didn't work simply because I had set up my account of Instagram with Women's Federation. So I know there are a lot of experts out there giving tutorials about how to have a professional, successful Instagram business. And quite honestly, my focus has not been on the money-making aspect. I'm really, really keen to build this ideal world that I've been investing in for the last 50 years and want to help and support to promote interdependence, mutual prosperity, universally shared values. And so I'm working on how to improve what's already there. And of course, I've been complaining about the payments, the costs, and the ads that are coming up in Facebook because, let's face it, Facebook started off as a free service, and the ads originally were totally unobtrusive. They were just on the side, like with Google, right? The ads were on the side and you could just ignore them. But now when they keep coming into your mailbox and into your feeds and into your posts, it's annoying me. And I'd still, my goal, my desire, my dream of an ideal world is one without all of that clutter. I don't want to be distracted by all the ads yet. now that they're doing these personalized ads, yes, I've subscribed to the personalized ads because I am interested to recognize what does Facebook, what does the algorithm, what does AI think that would interest me. And so typically and most commonly, I'm clicking these ads away very quickly and don't look at them, but I'm still fascinated and curious and often amused at the different things that do actually come up, what they think I'm interested in. Yeah, of course, I'm interested in chair yoga, but it's the same as Facebook. I'm not going to pay for it. There are other things that I'm prepared to pay for, but there are some things that I'm not going to invest my resources into when I think there are other things that are more important and that have a higher priority on my list. So I just wanted to get out there and show you my sign of life. And I know many of you are not interested in public visibility in terms of showing yourself, but here you are, and you want to see what the others are saying and doing. And yeah, okay, I've been convinced by my mentors. I've recognized that I need to be visible, that I need to show myself if I want to tell my story. And I know it's not easy to be visible. And one of the other things that has really been preoccupying me lately is this lifelong learning. There is really so much going on right now. I've also been listening to yesterday it was Silke Schaefer. She's an astrologist, and her readings about the times that we're living in and the times of change and what just happened yesterday on the 19th of November with Pluto entering into the cosmic picture for the next 20 years, and all of the exciting stuff that she says about the changes that are going to happen. And it just gels and resonates with the other things that fit in with my spiritual life and my faith community and all sorts of other places. The influences, it's what did we talk about on Friday? Quantum entanglement. I really feel things coming together in a fascinating way. And that's another reason why I think it's important to be visible, because if you don't show yourself, who knows that you resonate with that? If you don't click like on my presentation now, then who's going to know? Yeah, well, maybe you don't want anybody to know, but hey, it has an effect. What is this with this theory of quantum entanglements? It's you've heard the saying that if a bicycle falls down in China, what has it got to do with me? Or that it creates an earthquake in Cuba or something. These a butterfly wing in Brazil will affect my life here. These little things, and it's fascinating when you recognize that your thoughts, your intentions, your ideas have an effect. When you think positively, your health will improve. If you've got cancer and you've had other health issues, and believe me, I've had a lot of health issues, it really hurts when people say, well, you are responsible for your own health and you created your own situation. And it's really hard to believe. And from the principal point of view, I've come to recognize there's also a lot of ancestral influence. And now we know about what's genetics and epigenetics? Epigenetics, that we do have the DNA from our ancestors, and yet we can influence whether the genes turn on or off. So if I've got a breast cancer gene, it doesn't automatically mean I'm going to get breast cancer. A lot of my physical and even mental environment is going to influence whether that gene materializes in breast cancer or not. So if you've had breast cancer, I'm deeply moved and really want to support in a way to recognize how we can support one another with positive energies. But yeah, there's just so much more to it that we don't see, that we don't understand. And believe me, I've got my health issues. And so, yeah, like I said, when somebody says, well, what did you like the course I did 3 or 4 years ago, thinking into results, that what you think is what you get, what you believe in is what your self-fulfilling prophecies. If you believe it's going to be terrible, it's going to be terrible. And if you believe it's going to be great, you can make it great. These are the things that I'm preoccupied with right now. There's a lot of things going on. This is not my favorite time of year as it gets darker and darker here in the Northern Hemisphere. But in the Southern Hemisphere, it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter and warmer and warmer and warmer. So there's something good going on always. And there's always something good going on somewhere. And there'll be something good going on everywhere sometime, right? So, like John F. Kennedy said, you can fool or please some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. So, have you been entertained? If even if it was just that, I'm yeah, I'm not saying I'm here to entertain you, but I've I have a conviction that it is important to communicate and that we're living in fascinating times, and we will be more effective when we recognize how we can cooperate with one another. And sometimes it really is just that click, that like, that share, that comment on social media that can make that difference, that can send your message or my message or our message a little bit further. So think about it. What's your message? What's your goal? I'm spewing optimism. There's a better German word for it, and I couldn't think of a better English word. I'm living in a German speaking country and my mind is still dominated by English speaking thoughts, but I'm not surrounded by English speaking people anymore. So it's challenging. And yet, in this day and age, people are living in environments where they're constantly changing. And I mean, here in Austria, there are so many people that come from all over the place. I mean, this is a seat of the United Nations, so there are people from over 180 countries living and working here. And the children of those people are often from 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different countries. It's fascinating. This world is changing dramatically. So let's connect to one another and recognize how we can support one another in this multiculti. Well, I grew up in multiculti. I grew up in Melbourne, in the western suburbs of Melbourne, and we had all of southeastern Europe around in my neighborhood. And now I'm living here in the center of Europe, and through the internet we can connect. So have a great day. That's enough. I've been long enough. See you next time.